So welcome to today's class. So as discussed, today we'll start with your new module, that is module number 3. And in this module we'll be going through all your class fundamentals. We'll try to understand what are classes, how to create an object, how to create a method, how to get back from a method, how to get the values from a method. All those things we will try to discuss here. So going forward, class, you might have already heard of it. You have listened regarding classes in the previous chapters as well, because without creating a class it's not possible to write a program in Java. Okay, so it is nothing but, as you already know, it is a logical construct, and using this logical construct we'll be trying to get a physical construct that is nothing but your object. Okay, so classes are nothing but it is a template of objects. Any object, if you want to take, it will be a template of an object. Okay, so the best example I had given regarding class and objects is, say for example, class is a say I have cars is my class. If cars is my class, then object is nothing but a particular vehicle, like say for example Maruti 800. Okay, so class is what now? Class is your cars, and Maruti 800 is nothing but the object. So class is a template for an object using which you will be creating your objects. So object is what then? It is nothing but the instance of the class. Okay, so class is something which defines a new data type, and a class, using a class you will be creating your objects. Okay, so we will often see both these words, no, object and instance. We will be trying to have a look at both of these things simultaneously. Okay, so the general form of a class will look something like this. You have a class definition, that is, say you define it with a keyword called as class, followed by your name of the class. This is a user defined name. Next you have variables. So you will be having the variables. These are called as instance variables. Using these instance variables you will be trying to access this class. Okay, and next thing is, inside this class you have two important things. One is your variables, and the next thing is your methods. So you can see the list of methods here. This is my first method, second method, and n method. So like that you can have n methods and one variable. So that means, friends, inside a class you have two important things. One is your variables, and the other one is your methods. So these two form your major part of the class. Okay, so what do you mean by this instance variable? Variables is okay, but what is instance variable? So any variable which is defined within the class, this class, is called as a instance variable. Okay, and as I told just now, it is the methods and the variables which will be defining the classes, and these are called as, that is, the variables and the methods are called as members of the class. These are called as members of the class. Remember this word. Okay, so these are called as what now? Members of the class. Okay, so you have already seen some things regarding this, that is what is your variable and what is your method. Okay, one very simple thing is, what is a method? Method is nothing but, it's in your other programming languages, they are functions. Okay, so this is a simple class which you can see now. So we have defined a class called as box, and inside this box we have three instance variables. So these are our instance variables, you can see here. Okay, why instance variables? Because they are defined within this class. Okay, so that is the main thing here. So we have created a object. So this is a class. Next very important thing we need to do is, we should try to create a object. Okay, now very important thing, friends, this class box, what it has done, it has created a new data type. And its name is box. So this is a new data type, like all our other data types, int, float, and all those things. Even class is also a data type. And how do you create this data type? Using the keyword class. Okay, so that is done. Next very important thing is, it is now very important that a class declaration only creates a template, as we are saying just now that it will create a template. Okay, but so that means what now? It is just a logical thing. It is just a logical thing, and there is no physical thing related to its existence. Okay, so if I want to create a physical thing, then you should create a box object. So very important, friends, class is a logical thing. Class is a logical thing. Okay, and how to change this logical thing into a real thing, that is a physical thing, will be with the help of the object. So your object is nothing but it is a physical thing. So this is the difference between your class and object. So try to remember this thing. Now, how to create an object, that is what is our next concern. We have already created our class. So we have already created our class here. Next we would like to create a object. So if you want to create my object, one handy thing which comes is, you have already studied this, the new keyword. The new keyword which was used to create your if you remember, arrays. Okay, so how do you create it? It is something like this. So here we have created a box called as here we have created an object called as my box. Okay, so first thing what we will be doing is this my box, whatever you can see here, it is nothing but it is an instance of box. It is an instance of box. If you can see here, object is what now? It is an instance of class. So this my box, which is an object, so this is an object which is an instance of class. This is an instance of class. I hope you are getting it. So that means here you will be always having the class, and here you will be always having the object. Okay, now very important thing, whenever you try to create here, it is very important that you write your name of the class, followed by that the name of the object. Okay, so I'll just show it once again. This is the name of the class. So you can see here, name of the class, followed by that you will be putting the name of your object. Then you will be using a new keyword. New is nothing but, I already know that it allocates the memory. It allocates the memory. Followed by that you will be having again your, so now whose instance it is? This my box object, it is whose instance? It is the instance of the class box that you need to define. Okay, so please see here, friends, every box object, that is every box object, will contain its own copies of the instance variables. Okay, that means what now? I have created a new object which is my box. This my box will be having its own instance variables. And what are its own instance variables? That we have already defined in the class. Which are those? Those are width, height and depth. Okay, so say for example I create one more object, say my box 1, my box 1. So if I create my box 1, my box 1 will be also having its instance variables. And what are the instance variables? They are your width, height and depth. Okay, now next very important thing is, how do we assign the values? Okay, so before checking it how to assign the values, see, whenever we want to access any variables, we will be using our dot operator. So using your dot operator, using the dot operator, we will be trying to access the variables. Okay, so what this dot does is, it links the name of the object with the name of the instance variable. Okay, so what it does, it links the name of the object with the name of the variable. Like you can see here, we have tried to assign. So this my box is what now, friends? You already know what is my box. So this my box is nothing but what now? It is your object. It is your object. And what is this width? Width also you already know. It is nothing but, you can see here, here you have a width. It is nothing but it is the instance variable. Okay, so that means what this dot is doing, then this dot is linking your instance variable with your object. Okay, and it is assigning a value to it. The value assigned to it is what now? 100. Okay, so therefore you can say that the dot operator will give the access to the both the instance variables and the methods within the object. Whenever you try to write it within the object, that is, if I want to get an variable within an object, then it will be done with the help of the dot operator. in short, we can say that we have created a copy of this width. We have created a copy of this width from where? From the class. And where you have created a copy of this width? Inside the object myBox. Okay. So in order to understand this in more detail, we will have a small program. So this is the program called as boxdemo.java. Okay. So now if you observe here, friends, what we are trying to do, first line, we have used the predefined variable, that is keyword class, followed by that a user defined word called as box. Inside of this box, we have defined 3 variables. These variables are called as instance variables. Remember this word, these variables are called as instance variables. Okay, instance variables. Fine. Now, so these 3 variables are defined. Then next very important thing is we need to create an object for this class. We need to create an object for this class. Okay. So next thing what we have done now, we have created one more thing, that is class box demo. So what this class does, this class will be declaring an object. We have created one more class called as class box demo. This will create an object. So how to create an object, that we have seen here, that we already seen here. I'll just erase the ink. So this is the step which we will be using to create an object. So you need to find this step in the program now. So you can see here, box myBox is equal to new box. Okay. So what this line is doing, friends? So it is creating an object called as myBox. It is creating an object called as myBox, which is an instance of the class box. Okay. So that is what we have done here. This line, fine. So this, at least you know, only it is nothing but it is invoking your main function. Okay. Now inside this box demo class, we have defined one more variable called as volume. And remember again, this is called as what now? It is an instance variable. Now we will be trying to get the variables of the class box. How to get these variables? That also we have seen just now. We can get those variables with the help of this dot operator. So you can see here, it is myBox dot width, and what is the value we have assigned? 10. myBox dot height, what is the value we have assigned? 20. myBox dot depth, the value assigned is 15. Okay. Next, what we'll be doing now, we need to calculate the volume. So that means what now? This width we have taken a copy here. Already. Okay. So we'll be using the same variables now. So first variable is what now? The same instance variable from what now? From your class box, multiplied by height and multiplied by depth. Okay. And where is this volume printing, friends? This is printing in your class box demo. Okay. So a very simple thing. This you have already seen in the previous classes as well. Okay. So if you try to execute this program, we'll try executing it. I'll clear the window, command window. Okay. Yeah, so it has calculated the volume and it has printed. So the volume of your thing is nothing but it is 3000. Okay. So this is your regarding a simple class. Fine.